Hi guys! Oh, let me put another light on there. Oh, why is this light not working? There you go. Hi guys, welcome to Vic and Vern Sports Chat. Welcome to Across the Pond, your daily or your weekly dose of North American sport. Great to have you guys here. Look, I did the show yesterday already and then I forgot to put the sound on. Dumbass. There you go. Now the sound should be working. Everything should be working. I'm going to check it because, they say you can make mistakes, but if you make the same mistake twice, well, then you're a dumbass. They say you can make mistakes, but if you make the same mistake. Beautiful. Sound is there, baby. Big Dave. Okay, so let me put the sound off, otherwise it's going to destroy. Who we got in the house? Big Dave Donaldson, Big D, Eric from Nevada, Bobo, baby. You must be happy. The Miami, they won last night, and Rambo in the house. Oh, let me take a sip. Fantastic. So, hey, look, what are we going to talk about today? Well, that'd help if I put the topics out there. That would be great, wouldn't it? As you guys know, on this channel, when we do these shows, we always talk about a different state every week. So this week it's Pennsylvania. Well, the next two shows is Pennsylvania. A lot of good sports teams there in the state of Pennsylvania. We'll talk about the college football playoffs, of course, NHL, NFL, NBA, NCAA, basketball, men and women. Of course, guys, how can I forget? Happy New Year to everybody out there. May all your dreams, wishes come true. Most important is stay healthy and stay happy, man. That's all. That's the most important thing. I'm getting better with age. That's what I say. There you go. Let's have a look at there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. Up to 125,289. Fantastic. We're talking about Pennsylvania. Let's have a look where this Pennsylvania lies there in the US of A. That's the map of the US. And if you want to know exactly where Pennsylvania is, there where the red little arrow is, that is the state of Pennsylvania. Kind of between the lakes and the ocean, shoved in between there. Fantastic. Major cities there, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and of course the capital is Harrisburg. There, let's go. There you go. That's a little bit better. Look there you can see part of it's still on Lake Erie, and then of course you have the channel going into the Atlantic Ocean as well. Hi Ronnie, how you doing, man? How you doing? Me, I'm doing great because I'm live now. What's it, 4 o'clock? So I'm live the next 13 hours. 13 hours! Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Just quickly want to give you an update. That is Harrisburg, the state capital of Pennsylvania. A lot of people would, think it would be Philadelphia. Very historical. But no, it's Harrisburg in Pennsylvania is the capital. It was inducted into the, into the Union on the 12th of December, 1787. Around about Vern's birthday. The largest city is obviously Philadelphia. About 14 to 50 million people live in the state of Pennsylvania. What is Pennsylvania famous for? Look, because we're going to do my eye's killing me. Because we're going to do two shows on Pennsylvania. The next one is on Friday. Why is it saying 6 a.m. there on the button? No idea. No idea why it's saying 6 a.m. there on the button. I have no idea. Is it important? Fun, cool. No one gives a shit what the time stands there. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon here. That's all that's important. There you go. Now, Philly cheesesteaks. I'm going to be showing some pictures of Philly cheesesteaks in the second show that's coming out tomorrow, same time, 4 o'clock. So I'll be showing you some Philly cheesesteaks and stuff like that. A lot of the, the beautiful areas around it in Pennsylvania. Got some stunning nature out there in Pennsylvania. Very, very nice place, Pennsylvania. So let's move straight into it. And there's only one place to start, guys. Only one place to start. Yeah, baby, it's college football. There you go. And last night I did that game live. We had about 3,500, 4,000 people in. It was fantastic. Miami knocking off Ohio State. The reigning champions are. Adios, amigos, you are out of here, man. The reigning champions, they got punked, man. Because Miami's defense was phenomenal. I mean, look, everybody knows I support the Alabama Crimson Tide. But Miami won over my heart last night. And especially on the sideline. We had two Hall of Famers on the sideline. Supporting their college, their alma mater. we had Reggie Lewis, Ray Lewis there, and of course the playmaker Michael Irvin, both on the sidelines. It was fantastic. And I'm not doing any football. This is no soccer, no nothing. This is all North American sports. There you go. But hey, this afternoon, later on, Oregon against Texas Tech. That's coming up in a few seconds. Let me put that at the bottom. It's coming up in around about 2 hours. That should be an interesting game as well. Then the big one for me in the evening, Alabama Crimson Tide, baby, against the Indiana Hoosiers. Roll Tide. Important game for me. And then in the middle of the night, yeah, I'm not as good as what's his name sung it. There you go. I'm not a singer, man. I'm a lover, not a singer. There you go. Ole Miss, the Rebels, will take on the Georgia Bulldogs. That should be another cracker out there. So college football. But let me tell you about that game from last night. Miami beat Ohio State. Let me get some of the statistics up there. I mean, it was unbelievable, the defense. I mean, Carson Beck, he only had 138 passing yards for the Miami, had a touchdown there. If you compare that to Julian Sayin, he had 287 for the Buckeyes, but wasn't enough. Look, the big difference was that Ohio State only managed 45 rushing yards compared to the 153 of Miami. Mark Fletcher Jr. was sensational there. Malachi Tony did well. I mean, he was good on the receiving as well, Malachi Tony. But the defense came up for Miami. I mean, how many times? I just want to know, how many times did he get sacked yesterday? I mean, the sacks were unbelievable. Returns, punting. Where my sacks? Where my sacks? I mean, he got sacked about 4 or 5. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sacks. That's a hell of a lot. And there we go. You know, Miami's defense was sensational, absolute freaking sensational. I'm looking forward to that game, the next one, because Miami will take on the winner of Ole Miss against Georgia. Alabama in Indiana, the winner of that will take on Oregon or Texas Tech. So we'll see what comes out there. But college football, so exciting, guys. So exciting. So I'm going to plug it again. Join me for Oregon against Texas Tech. After that, it's going to be Alabama, baby. Roll Tide against Indiana. And then it's Ole Miss against Georgia. I might need to take some tablets to keep myself awake. But it's going to be good, man. It's going to be very good. So let's get into the NFL. Last week, weeks 17, not 13. Look, some big upsets. The Buccaneers losing to the Dolphins. That's a no-go. The Panthers could have been in the playoffs already, but they lost to the Seahawks. Seahawks, the best team in football at the moment. The Eagles nipping past the Bills. The Bills are a little bit on a slide. The 49ers and the Bears, I mean, 38-42. That was a slugfest. The Rams losing to the Falcons. Big upset there as well. Ravens to the Packers. But listen here, it all means nothing anymore. Look at all those scores. I'm not going to get into them because what's important is this is what we have at the moment. As it stands right now, today, written in the books, those are your playoff teams. But the teams there in white, all in the 4th position, Steelers and Panthers, that can all change on this weekend. Can all change tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, maybe Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. There you go. Because the Steelers will face the Ravens. Ravens win, they are in, Steelers are out. Panthers take on the Buccaneers. If the Panthers lose, the Buccaneers win. And I think there's one more constellation that needs to happen. Then the Buccaneers are in. So it's all to play for in the college football. In the college football. You see, I'm so excited about the bloody college football in the NFL playoffs. So let's have a look at the games that are coming up in week 18. This weekend, the last week of the regular season, before we get into the wild card weekend, the playoffs, and the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is 38 days away, man. 38 days. You know, people count it down to New Year. And that's great. But who gives a shit about New Year? It's the Super Bowl, baby. The Super Bowl is like Christmas, New Year, Easter, and flipping Thanksgiving all put into one. So this weekend, let's pull out the big games. All of them are out there. You guys can check it out. I'm going to tell you what the big games are this weekend. Big games are Ravens, Steelers, Panthers, Buccaneers, Seahawks, 49ers. They have direct implications on getting into the playoffs or getting the number 1 spot. 49ers beat the Seahawks, they're number 1. If not, the Seahawks stay number 1 and they'll have a bye in the first week. Panthers lose, Buccaneers win, Buccaneers are in. Ravens win, Steelers lose, Ravens are in. If the Steelers and the Panthers win, they are in. It's so much to get into, and it's fantastic. I mean, I don't even know what to do this weekend. I don't know what to watch anymore because there's so many great sports events. I don't know how I'm going to go to work on Monday. I'm going to be so freaking tired. But let's move on and let's have a look at some of the stats in the NFL quickly. Look, you got Dak Prescott out there with the most yards, but I mean, looks like Matthew Stafford's going to take the MVP there. 42 touchdowns, only 8 interceptions. That is quite impressive. And then, of course, Drake May also there. I mean, Jared Goff is not going to get it. Dak Prescott's not going to get it because they're not in the playoffs. And I don't think they'll give it to Sam Donald. Just too many interceptions there. So, yeah, those are your quarterbacks. We know the MVP is a quarterback-driven trophy. There you go. Then let's have a look at the rushing. I mean, James Cook there, 1,606 yards, 12 touchdowns. Derrick Henry starting to pick up the pace, and he needs a monster game against the Steelers. And I'm backing the Ravens because I don't trust the Steelers. I honestly don't trust the Steelers. I know we're doing Pennsylvania today, but I don't trust the Steelers. Derrick Henry, I think, is going to run wild on them. Look at the guy, third from bottom, Christian McCaffrey. 10 touchdowns. He rushed for 1,179 yards. Why am I mentioning Christian McCaffrey? Because if you look at the receiving stats, fourth from bottom, he's had 17 touchdowns in total this year. His offense is for more than 2,000 yards this year. That is freaking unbelievable. My eyes, Christian McCaffrey should be the MVP, but we know we only give it to quarterbacks. That is just the way it goes. Then I did say we were going to talk about the teams here in Pennsylvania. Wow, you got to talk about the Eagles, baby. Fly, Eagles, fly. Where's Kevin Hart? Big Eagles fan, man. There you go. So let me give you some information here on the Philadelphia Eagles. There you go. They were founded on the 8th of July, 1933. Vern was there when it was founded. Vern was alive when it was founded. They play at the Lincoln Financial Field there in Philadelphia. The owner is Jeffrey Lowry, not Mike Lowry, but Jeffrey Lowry. President is Don Smolinski. Nothing to do with Jesse Smolinski, right? Yeah, no, not sure. General manager is Howie Rosen. I love the man. Great manager. Been there for years. And of course, their head coach. Not a lot of people in Philadelphia like this man. I love Nick Sirianni. I think he's one of the better coaches in the league. That is that info on them. Let's see. What have they won? Well, they've won. Hey, not to get it wrong, they've won 2 Super Bowls. 2017, they beat my Patriots. Still don't like that one. And then last year, they are the reigning champions. So there you go. It is. They are the reigning champions. They got a lot of good players. I put a collage together of their top players of the past. So let me just put that out there for you guys. There you go. I could get into a lot more players, but I only do the players that I really know. Of course, we have Reggie White there with number 92. What a player he was. Then, of course, Donovan McNabb, I think, together with Warren Moon, put African-American quarterbacks on the map. And then not to forget, the miracle worker, holding up the trophy that should have been ours, the Patriots trophy, Nick Foles. I mean, it was Carson Wentz was the quarterback the whole year. Sensational year. Got an injury just at the beginning of the playoffs. Nick Foles took over, and the rest, as they say, is freaking history. Not good history if you're a Patriots fan. Then, of course, they've had a few really iconic coaches there. Let me put that out for you guys there. There you go. There they are. Doug Peterson, the man with the headphones with the white thing in there. Of course, Andy Reid. Yes, Andy Reid started his big coaching journey in Philadelphia before he went to the Kansas City Chiefs. And then, of course, Dick Vermeer. Dick Vermeer, how can I explain him? A sensational coach. Have you ever watched the movie? I don't know what the name of the movie is, but it's with Marky Mark plays the role there. Where he plays Vince Papali. Dick Vermeer was a coach there in that one. That's a good one. That's a good one. I'll get to my shirt in a second. Don't worry. Then who are the guys now that have going to bring the title, or who have brought the title last year to the Eagles. Well, there you go. Of course, Coach Sirianni, and then my man, Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts gets a rough ride in the NFL. I mean, he's a Super Bowl champion. He plays well. He gets the job done. He's not as flashy as other quarterbacks, but he's a quiet, down-to-earth, humble guy. Gets the job done. There you go. So that's the Eagles nation. Good for them. Then, of course, there is another team in the state of Pennsylvania that does play football, and it's maybe, not maybe, it is even more accomplished and have won more titles. But now I want to tell you, there you go, Marnus, there you go. Let me do it like that. There you go. Now you can see my shirt in all its splendor. You can read it. There you know. I'm like a good old, Chateau de Rothschild, or a good Bordeaux wine. I just get better with age, man. Look better, more intelligent. There you go. But let's talk about the Steelers, baby, because this is an unbelievable franchise. Let's give you some information on the Steelers. Also established in 1933, just around Vern's birthday. There you go. And owned by the Rooney family now. What a fantastic family. What great owners. I think the best owners in all of football. Omar Khan is the general manager, and of course the head coach is Mike Tomlin. Love the man. Mike Tomlin, what a coach. But we said the Philadelphia Eagles won 2. They Super Bowl champs. Steelers have won 6 titles. Something that won't happen to Vern. No. They've won 6 championships there. The 74, 75, 78, and 79. That was the dynasties there. They won a lot of titles there. Then in 2005 and 2008, they won 2 with old Big Ben Roethlisberger, or as we say in Switzerland, Rötlisberger. There you go. But let's have a look at, we'll start with their iconic coaches. Just want to put it out there for you guys. 1 second. There it is. Super Bowl champions. Look at that. 6 Super Bowl champions. I mean, unbelievable. Let's have a look at their iconic coaches. Mike Tomlin won't be on here because he's, he's still, how do you say, active. But I mean, look, Chuck Noll bringing championships to the team. Bill Cowher brought championships to the team. I mean, look, great coaching. And you know what? Pittsburgh, I think they've only had 3 coaches like in the last flipping 90 years or whatever. Well, in the last 50 years, they haven't had a lot of coaches. It's not a team that swaps the coaches a lot. I mean, Mike Tomlin's been there for forever, ever. Before that, it was Bill Cowher. In my lifetime, I cannot remember Pittsburgh Steelers having more than 3 coaches. And I'm not that young anymore. I just look like I'm 20, man. There you go. Iconic players for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh, my Lord. Where do I start? Well, let me get them all into the picture here. There you go. I've only chosen 4 because I don't want to clog it up. But of course, we've got to talk about Terry Bradshaw. A lot of people in the US, a lot of football fans have him as the best quarterback of all times. A lot of people have Joe Montana. I still have Tom Brady, but that's because I'm a Patriots fan. And he won the most. Then, of course, Troy Polamalu. What a player he was, man. The man from the islands there with the long hair. Then, of course, Hines Ward, the guy on top with the... What a player he was. And then we can't forget old Big Ben Roethlisberger. There you go. Bringing a title together with Mike Tomlin to the Steelers. There you go. Now, who's the boys got to do it this year for them? That's the big question. Well, I don't think they can do it this year. If they win on the weekend, they are in the playoffs. But look, TJ Watt, what can you say? Unbelievable defensive player. I think he's better than JJ Watt, his brother. Then, of course, Coach Tomlin there at the bottom. If my Patriots ever decide to change coaches from Mike Vrabel, Mike Tomlin's the man. I actually think he should leave Pittsburgh and try something new. Mike Tomlin, what a guy. And then, of course, the bad man himself, Aaron Rodgers. He's in the twilight zone of his career there. What is he, about 41 now? Can he still get a second Super Bowl? I don't have him in the top 10 best quarterbacks of all time if he doesn't get a second Super Bowl. I'm just sorry. That's just me. But that is your Pittsburgh Steelers. I read that one. Yeah, something that happened to Vern. Don't worry. Then let's look at a little bit of the NBA. Oh no, I want the NBA results, dumbass. There you go. Let's just take the other stuff away. There you go. I gotta flip the bird. There you go. Switch the mode. All good. So last night, big games there. New Year games. Oof. Warriors beating the Hornets 132-125. Hawks taking care of the Timberwolves 102-126. The Magic knocked off the hapless Pacers 112-110. The Suns losing to the Cavaliers 113-129. The Pelicans had nothing for the Bulls 118-134 to the Bulls. The Knicks and the Spurs, that must have been a fantastic. So there you go. Must have been a fantastic game 132-134. The Nuggets, even without Nikola Jokic, we'll be talking about him soon, 106-103 against the Raptors. The Wizards beat the Bucks 114-113, and the Trailblazers got thundered. Yeah, it wasn't the thunder from down under, it was just the thunder from Oklahoma that beat the crap out of the Trailblazers 124-95. Let's have a look at the standings quickly in the East. There we go. There's your standings in the East. The beast in the East is the Detroit Pistons, still ahead of the New York Knicks with 1.5 games, followed by the Celtics. Celtics are actually keeping themselves relevant in the table without Jason Tatum. I love it. Toronto, Philadelphia up there as well. Orlando, my Heat still in the playoffs. Milwaukee, can Milwaukee start moving up the table now that Giannis is back? And I think for the other teams, it's get ready for next year. In the West, there's only one. No, it's not the West, it's one. It's only one team that's really cooking there, and cooking. Oklahoma City Thunder way out in front on their own, followed by the Spurs, the Nuggets, and the Rockets. I can see the Rockets moving up the table. I got them winning the NBA this year. Lakers, I can see the Lakers going down a little bit. Guys, don't forget the Mavericks and the Clippers there. I don't think Utah are going to make it because the Clippers are on the hottest streak in the NBA at the moment. They're on a 5-game winning streak. Kawhi Leonard is playing out of his skin. For me, from Hi Mo, doesn't matter. You got to play who's in front of you. Hi there. I don't give a damn if you're full strength. That is not your opposition's problem if you don't turn up with all your players. But I think the Clippers are going to get it. I think Kawhi Leonard, for me, is the best two-way player in the NBA. He's playing on an MVP level right now. We'll see what happens. Before we get into all the statistics and stuff like that, now we'll do the stats first, and then we'll get to Nikola Jokic. Let's have a look there. Top of the points, Luka Doncic. 33.5 points a game, ahead of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 32.2. Tyrese Maxey of the 76ers there with over 30. Nikola Jokic in 4th and Donovan Mitchell in 5th. The assist leaders, it's Jokic out in front ahead of Cade Cunningham and the man from down under, good day, Josh Giddey. On the rebound department, it's again the man, Nikola Jokic. He's everywhere, man. Ahead of Karl Anthony Towns of the Knicks and Ivica Zubac of the Clippers. Rudy Gobert is there as well from the Minnesota Timberwolves, and Jalen Duren from Detroit. Who nips the ball the most? The best steals in the league is Cason Wallace. He steals the ball 2.2 times a game. So there you go. I'm not doing any football right now. I've got to do this stuff, man. I got a lot to get through. Then blocks, Jay Huff on top there with 2.4 blocks a game. For Indiana to be good, he'd need 24 blocks a game. There you go. But we want to talk about Nikola Jokic. There we go. Put it out there. Look, out for 4 weeks, hyperextended knee. Nikola, my man, there from Serbia. We need you back. Get well soon, man. I hope that's going to cost him as probably the MVP this year because you've got to play a certain amount of points. 4 weeks, that'll be about 8, 9, maybe 10 games. He could still make it. He could still make it. We will see. Yeah, we'll talk about that 1 second. I'll get into the chat just after we've done the basketball. I will get into the chat. So, we're talking about the state of Pennsylvania. Well, they have the 76ers in the state of Pennsylvania. Give you some info on the 76ers. Look, they started off as the Syracuse Nationals in 1946. Vern was about 11 years old by that time. And then they moved into the NBA in 1949 as the Syracuse Nationals. And in 1963, They went to Philadelphia and they became the Philadelphia 76ers, and that is the way it stayed until today. CEO is Tad Brown. Daryl Morey is the president. Elton Brand is the general manager. Good player, Elton Brand. Nick Nurse is the coach they have right now. And the owners, no one gives a shit. There you go. What have the 76ers achieved in their franchise? Well, they won 3 titles. 2 of them as the Syracuse Nationals and 1 of them as the Philadelphia 76ers. Am I correct with that? I'm going to quickly go have a look. 63. Let me have a look. Now, 2 as the Philadelphia 76ers. Sorry about that. Don't want to upset the city of Philadelphia. There you go. Who are the star guys for the 76ers in the years gone by? Well, got quite a lot of them. Jeez, I didn't know how to put them all in there. But here we go. Here we go. You got Wilt Chamberlain, the only man to ever score 100 points in an NBA game. Then you got Moses Malone. I love Moses, man. What a rebounding demon. Of course, the man that got all this NBA stuff really started with all the flashy dunks and stuff like Dr. Julius Erving, Dr. J. Fantastic. Then Charles Barkley, I know Vern's favorite player of all time. What a monster he was. And then for me, inch by inch, centimeter by centimeter, the greatest basketball player that ever played, Allen Iverson. People say, Vic, you're out of your bloody mind. No. I said centimeter by centimeter, inch by inch. Wasn't the biggest player in the league. If he was the size of Dr. J or Michael Jordan, we'd be talking about him as the bloody GOAT, man. Because what he did with his side was unfreaking believable. Old AI, Allen Iverson. Remember, it's only practice. It's only practice. I love that. I love that interview. If you've never seen it, go check it out. Google it. Allen Iverson, famous interview. You will love it. So there we go. I'm going to read the chats very soon. Don't worry. Then have a look at some of the coaches that they've had. Look, I'm just talking about coaches that I do know. Of course, Billy Cunningham, and then one of my favorite coaches of all times, Larry Brown, the man in the suit. Loved him. There we go. I will get into the chats later, guys. Don't worry. And then who's bringing it to them now? Let's see. These are the 2 guys that are supposed to bring it to the 76ers. Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. I can't see the 76ers winning a title this year. Just can't. Tiny Archibald, yeah, they're all there, but I do. Like I said, I always introduce people that I still know a little bit. Otherwise, it doesn't come thing. But let me get into the chat before we get into the NHL. What Leinster rugby are you doing this weekend? Nothing. No Leinster this weekend. Can't do Leinster this weekend. In the early 70s, I was a huge New York Nets fan. Then they shipped Dr. J off to the Sixers. Oh, all right, okay. What else we got? Oh, no, that wouldn't be a good trade, man. No, buy him out. Bayer's got to stay with Miami. I don't want him to leave. That Miami's my team. A very happy new year to you. Yeah, you too, guys. You too. There you go. So that was all about the 76ers, and we'll move back. So here we go. Then we move into the NHL. Got to get this show on the road. Got to get ready for the DEFCON rugby show. In 30 minutes, I still got to invite Vern into that one. NHL last night, the Rangers and the Capitals. They faced off the Capitals. They capped a good win there against the Rangers 6-3. The Predators, they feasted on the Golden Knights 4-2. The Lightning struck the Ducks 4-3. The Wild got chomped by the Sharks 4-3. The Jets got their wings clipped by the Red Wings. Got the wrong logo there, 2-1. The Devils beat the Blue Jackets 3-2. The Sabres beat the Stars 4-1. The St. Louis Blues are really feeling blue after the Avalanche came over them 6-1. The Flyers, they were grounded last night by the Flames. They got burnt 5-1. And the Bruins beat the Oilers 6-2. Next week, a little bit less hectic. We can do something with Leinster, definitely. There you go. Let's have a quick look at the standings in the East. There you go. There you go, your standings in the East. Detroit, let me put that out there. Detroit Red Wings on top of the Atlantic. Carolina Hurricanes still on top of the Metropolitan. Check out all your teams, your favorite teams and all that. Then we move on to the West. And the Colorado Avalanche, the top team in the NHL this year. They have the most wins. They're leading the Central Division with 65 points, followed by the Stars and the Wild. In the Pacific, we have the Oilers, just ahead of the Golden Knights and the Anaheim Ducks. So look at some stats quickly in the NHL. Connor McDavid leading the points there with 69 points ahead of Nathan McKinnon with 66. We'll break it down quickly. I can tell you, here you go. Nathan McKinnon's out of his 66, 32 of them have been goals. The 69 of Connor McDavid, he's had 24 goals, 45 assists. That is phenomenal. That's your scorers. Let's see in the goalkeepers. Jesper Wallstadt, save percentage of 93.1. That is sensational. So good job there for Vesper, the man from the Minnesota Wild. And then last but not least, don't forget, there will be a second part of the show tomorrow at 4 o'clock. There you go. NCAA. The coaches poll at the moment, because the ATP poll is not up and running. Michigan ahead of Arizona, Iowa, and UConn in the men. Duke in 5th there. Alabama down there in 15th. Interesting. That is it. And for your ladies college NCAA basketball, it's still the UConn Huskies ahead of the Texas Longhorns and the South Carolina Gamecocks. UCLA Bruins in 4th. LSU Tigers in 5th. Check out your teams. Down in 16th, it's the USC Trojans, just behind the North Carolina Tar Heels. That'll be picking up the closer we get to March. That'll be very, very interesting. But that is your Across the Pond for today. We will be back tomorrow, same time, same place, with Across the Pond, the second part of it, because I didn't want to do it all in one, as it would have taken an hour. We're going to do 2 parts. That's fine, because we do have other things today. Don't forget, later on today, it's the DEFCON Rugby show coming up. That is at 5 o'clock. Then at 6 o'clock, it's college football. At 8:15, it's darts. At 10 o'clock, it's more college football. At 2 o'clock in the morning, it's more college football. And at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, it's Vern and the Daily Sports Update show. So lots to get into, lots to talk about. We will see you guys there. I'm going to sign off here. Remember, join us every week. Normally, it's always on a Wednesday at 2300, but we had to change the schedule a little bit. So check it out. Yes, it's bloody cold out there in the US. Yes, good one there, Mo. They've got from the Great Lakes, there's something called lake snow. Now, if you don't know, go Google it. Cold air comes in from the Atlantic Ocean, and then this cold air comes in from the lakes, and it kind of meets up there in Buffalo, New York, Massachusetts, Maine, Connecticut, the northeast of the US. And it congregates. 2 cold fronts hit each other, and then it just snows like it's fucking crazy. I mean, they got like meters of snow there. I've been watching some pictures on the news. Unbelievable. Yeah, it's an ice rink, baby. It's nothing like pond hockey, man. Come on, a little bit of pond hockey. There you go. But I'm going to sign off because I've got a lot of things to do. Guys, see you guys later. Ciao, ciao.